Just a quick question, technically. I remember many years ago I was writing everything in Visual Basic, and then we discovered .NET, and suddenly everything happened at triple speed. And I was curious, I heard about this project to port the rapid SMS server to Android, and then suddenly here it is, and it's gorgeous. What is your experience been working on that platform? How's it working there versus doing more traditional mobile development?
It's a newer open source community, so some of the documentation compared to other more mature platforms is not there. I imagine the Apple SDK for the iPhone is a little bit more documented. But our programming team, Daniel in particular, along with the UNICEF guys, and Chris and Erica were able to put this together in 4 weeks. So that it can't be that hard if you can do it that quickly, so it's good enough.
And how many developers on the team?
There's one here and one on the UNICEF team helping them.
Amazing.
I have a quick question for Paul. So when you show that graphics is actually very scary. So for field workers, they have probably a dozen forms that need to fill out. So is there an initiative trying to standardize the reporting process or a common platform, if you will?
There are initiatives, and bearing in mind that in terms of what you've seen there with something like the health reporting system, this is generally in the hands of the national health authorities. And in what we're seeing in a number of countries is that there is now a growing awareness that this kind of silo effect in terms of products being put into different reporting formats to report back to who's providing the products, that this is actually causing this kind of problems. But then actually now going through to try and undertake that reform throughout the whole health system, I mean, you're talking about quite substantial work. We have been sort of involved in Ethiopia and Madagascar to try and assist ministries of health in particular to address this. But again, you're dealing with something with so many different players involved that bringing all these people together on the table to try and create a solution, it requires the political motivation of the national authority and plus the financial means and the expertise to be able to redesign a whole distribution system. In the case of Ethiopia, you're looking at them wanting to have distribution data coming from 1,400 health posts that they just created. And it's quite an effort. So there is this awareness being built, but I think it's going to take a lot of work to be able to improve. I think also Zambia has just started. And actually, I saw a slide that the Zambia Minister of Health put together. I saw that last week, and they'd used that same format that Steve designed to also to highlight the mess they're in.
I just want to publicly say kudos to Damagi and the UNICEF team. I think this might be the first cell phone-based gateway. We can actually aggregate data and also the client for entering data. So I think that's very notable. So congratulations again. It's pretty significant. It's really a first hybrid of this type, and we're super stoked to buy 14 phones and send them out. So thank you, guys.
Hey, John, can you open up your later?
It's all UNICEF's idea, so it's they're thinking.
I just have a quick question on the emergency workshop. I kind of understand sort of what the other two are going to talk about, but maybe I wasn't. I was in the process of going to talk to someone else, but I didn't quite understand like what's happening in the emergency workshop, or I mean breakout.
I thought you designed it.
No, this is where we've been going.
No, what we're going to do, at least in the three concepts that we just dreamt up, one of them will be sort of on rapid assessment, which is it's something I don't think has been covered in the way that we're looking at it. So rapid assessment by sort of skilled monitors. The other one would be more on situation analysis, particularly logistic situation analysis. That's bridge status, road status, security incidents, etc. And then the third one would be needs assessment through directly from the community, as we've seen in some of the examples earlier today. So it was sort of on those three streams.
Thank you.
I just have another sort of follow-on question. Are there plans, or have you guys built out some of the rules engine on the back end so that, like, if you hit certain thresholds of supply depletion, then it would automatically sort of give an alert and or initiate some action that came on afterwards?
That's definitely a next step that is easy to program, but that people such as Paul, Simon, and everybody else in this room who's a field person has to help inform. And there's a limit to how much you can do through an interface that says, well, through any interface, but specifically one that's like the Android interface. And so it will certainly be capable of running things like that, and I think automated reports and automated alert generation is one of the best uses of SMS field collection technology for supply chain management. So that definitely will be added, and it's a question of how much can you do in a user interface that's customizable in the field, because we really don't want to have to program this on a computer and then download it, because one of the keys is that anybody in the field can do this, so all 10 MVP sites can have different people playing with it in different ways.
Can I just say a little bit about sort of what our plans are for Rapid SMS in the coming couple months? I mean, obviously, so this Android thing, I mean, we wanted to show it here, but it really was only 4 weeks in the making, and 2 developers, and then Jonathan, and then Chris and I sort of talking on a regular basis. I mean, so the Rapid SMS, the version that's on Android is sort of our most flexible version. You can sort of create a form, and it's really meant for other people to go and take and use. If we were, but we could very easily sort of limit it and start writing rules into it in the same way that the system that we have going in Ethiopia or Malawi has rules in it. So if people start entering data that was wildly inaccurate, for example, it would, write them back and say, "Are you sure?" Or, I think you need to check again. So it really can be programmed sort of as tightly as you want, or as loosely as you want. And I think sort of our challenges over the coming couple months is to look at what are the core things that UNICEF's doing. I mean, supply seems incredibly, a really good choice. But then looking at the other sector, looking at monitoring of, let's say, nutrition. Do we have a nutrition version of Rapid SMS? And I know that our developers, Mark, Evan, Merrick, and Adam, and then sort of with us, are really trying to sort of put our heads around what this means as a system, for UNICEF and others in the coming months. So it's just become more and more useful in that way.
Okay, if nothing else, then I guess we take the coffee break now if it's ready. And then if I could ask you to come back, what is the coffee break? 15 minutes? 15 minutes, if you can come back here and then sort of just gravitate towards the workshop that or the breakout that you're interested in. And we'll set up in 4 different corners of the room, and if teams need to go outside somewhere else, they can go outside. We scheduled sort of an hour and a half for the breakout, but that's going to include the time for getting everyone together, having your discussions, and then feeding back, and then coming back for the wrap up. So we break now, and then 10 past 3. If we can all come back here and start with the breakouts. Thanks very much.